Okay, this video is to show you how I made the Paslode battery adapter. There's probably more than one way to do this, but at least it'll show you the materials I used and the measurements that I cut everything at and put it together. So hopefully it helps you out. Okay, as far as the materials that I used, I've got a stainless steel strip here. I use stainless because it's a little bit stiffer and figured it would hold its shape better. It's 9 inches long, 5/16 wide, and I've drilled a hole at 8 9/16 from the end. That hole is going to take this 832 machine screw, which I braze in there, which basically just tack in there. Now you could just put a nut on the other side of there, but being as I was brazing the other end anyway, I just went ahead and brazed that on. I also have this was a solid piece of 1/2 inch nylon. I cut it at 5/8 long and I drilled an 1/8 inch hole in it. This is a nylon washer I'm going to use for an insulator, and this is also, well, this is actually a piece of PVC pipe, 1/2 inch, that I have sliced at 3/16. Now I take these two pieces together and I use some JB Weld here. It's just a hard plastic adhesive, and I put these two together to make the insulator. And this insulator later on I'll be putting into the end of this to keep the two connections separate. I also have a stainless washer. Now again, it doesn't have to be stainless. I just use stainless because it's just a superior steel to use around battery acids and stuff like that. It's not going to corrode as badly. But the size of this is no bigger than your C battery, but the center of it is large enough that it will take your insulator. That 1/2 inch piece of PVC will actually fit over it. And that's what I use for the end of the battery adapter. Okay. So now what I do is I take this washer, I flatten one of the sides so that your piece of steel will lay on it nicely. And I got it kind of set up over here. And as you see, I've got the 8/32 screw already brazed onto this piece, and I've just set my vise up so that this is a little magnetic welder's helper there, holding piece of stainless down, and it's just laid right on top of my piece here. I get it laid right on that flat that I've created on it, and then I use my torches to heat that up and to braze that connection. And after I'm done, it kind of looks like that. Just braze it on. It's pretty strong. After you get it brazed on there, it holds pretty good. Okay, after I've got that brazed on, I got my screw brazed in. You can see I've cut the end of that screw off. I did that because I don't want it to come through this nylon piece when I hammer that on. That's going to be what you slide the battery adapter in with afterward. And it also completes the length of the actual battery that used to go in these guns. I've cut this piece of angle iron just the right length. It's right at 7 7/8. And that length is what I need to bend this at. So what I do is I put my washer right up against the bottom of it there, and I clamp it in a vise. Make sure I got it straight and all the way up against there. And now I need to basically bend it sharply right at that point. It helps if you bite it a lot closer. So I'll go ahead and do that. Now that gives me my length that I need for my battery adapter right there. I said I had that cut at 7 7/8. I'll check that again. Yep. Now, what I do here on the end is take my piece of nylon, I set it right over top of that. I have actually ground that to a point also. As you can see, it helps me get the nylon started. But once it's on there good. Put that against something solid. Just hammer it on. And you see? It's hammered on there. Well, something else you need to do is grind that excess off, which I probably should have done that before I hammered this nylon on there. I usually do, but okay. As you see, I knocked that down. Knocked the edge off, cleaned it up. Now this thing is just the right length to hold your 4C batteries after I put this insulator in. It's just the right length to hold your 4C batteries. It makes connection on this end, and then that little spring will come through your insulator and make connection with the front of the battery on this end. Now I've got to cut the insulator. I have to flatten the side of the washer and make it fit in here, and that's what I want to do next. Okay, and what I did was I flattened the side of the insulator there, just took it over on the grinder, flattened the side. I beveled it back a little bit here, just so that if there's any brazing or anything here holding it up off of there, that it doesn't interfere with it setting down nicely. Now I want to take this and I'm going to glue that right to that piece, and you're going to have an insulator that keeps that spring from touching the other side, the other pole of your battery. Okay, my glue's dry. Set my batteries in. See if my length is okay. And it's, as you can see, it's about perfect from end to end there. That 7 7/8 is just about on the money. I'll slide it into my gun here and make sure I have power. As you can see, got power. I will point out one more thing. When I was first making these, I was actually using a hose washer for an insulator, if that's more available to you. I got the hose washer to stick okay, but what I was using a small piece of hose for this other piece, and I got it to stay, but I was a little worried about the glue that I was using and whether it would stick well. never really found anything that would really bond it very well. So I kind of went to the nylon because I just liked it better. It worked out better. I got enough materials to make about 10 of these. So I'll make what I can, and then I'll put a link below this video as soon as I post it on eBay. And hopefully this helps you out.